What's up, everybody? Welcome to the final whistle. It's Tuesday. You know what time it is. We got the all-star panel here on the final whistle. Me, myself, Matt Cadell. We got final whistle Dan. How you doing, Coach Dan?
Always good, brother. Roll Tide, everybody.
Roll Tide. Well, you know we got Coach Smook in the building. Yes, Coach Smook, what's going on?
What's good, man? Roll Tide, everybody. How's it going, chat?
Going well. And Chris James back from his OnlyFans convention this weekend. Shouts out to Chris James. How you doing, 3-2?
Boy, I picked up 32 more followers, and I learned 3 techniques.
All dudes.
And the one who put it all together. The one and only.
The one and only, Justin Riley. What's going on, Justin Riley?
Bama Nation, acknowledge me.
Acknowledge me. So, we got an exciting show. We're going to get it started. So, we're going to dive right in. We want to talk a little bit about the wait, what you want to say, Justin? You go first, Justin.
No, I'm just saying, before we do anything, fans, get active. Hit that like and subscribe button. Live chat. We need you getting rowdy tonight. You're what makes this show go. You're the real star of our show. If you're watching the replay, get in the comment section. We got a lot of topics tonight that you're going to want to make your voices known. Listen, we are brought to you by Workspace Solutions. They're the ones who pay the bills to get this stream going.
Workspace.
Shout out to them. If you have a business that needs to have an online presence or marketing or anything you can possibly think of, man, hit up Workspace Solutions, workspacepros.com. Matt, take things away.
I might need to use them for my side hustle.
As long as you'll talk about images.
But yeah, let's we had a great weekend. Hope everybody had a good Memorial Day weekend, but we're ready to get it started. So we want to talk about next year's draft class. Who are some potential sleepers, or you think Mike could sneak into the first round? Kool-Aid's gonna be that guy. So I'm gonna put it up to the panel. I'm gonna let Chris go. Who do y'all think could be a sleeper first rounder next year in the NFL football draft?
Van Edwards starting out early.
You're talking about just Alabama roster, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, with Alabama.
Yeah, with Alabama. I'm sorry.
I have 3, or do you want just 1?
1.
Okay.
All right. Well, dang, man, why you got to give me 1? All right. I'll start off with the defensive line. Well, defensive end, outside pass rusher, Chris Braswell.
Ooh.
I think that he has a tremendous upside, and the thing about him, I saw him play when they came down during that Geico, that high school classic with St. Francis, came down to Georgia and played Lee County. He was the fastest guy like I've ever seen in high school off the edge, was Chris Braswell. I've never seen anybody with a quicker first step that absolutely lived in the backfield. If he stays healthy, and it says he's up to 255 right now. So I just think that he's in line for a huge season, man, because a lot of focus is going to be put on the other side in Dallas Turner. So he's going to see a lot of single blocks, and I think he's going to take advantage of that, man. And I think he's due for a huge season, and with the potential to have his name called on day one.
Nice. Coach Smoot?
Man, I'm gonna go to the offensive side, and I'm gonna say I think Jason McClellan is going to surprise a lot of people at how high he's going to go in the draft. And that's because he's not going to get a heavy load of carries, but Jason McClellan is going to be electric this year. I think the way Tommy Rees is going to call the offense is going to put Jason McClellan in positions where it favors his skill set. Getting him out to the perimeter, putting him in between the tackles, with the wide receiver, with the wide receiver spread sets, 3 wide, one tight set, or even splitting the double tight end sets. I feel like Jace is our most dynamic back with experience right now. Rodell is consistent, but Jace is really going to put himself on the map this year. And I'm talking like with the simple things, breaking those quick swing patterns, or those screen. We're going to be seeing a lot of screen action this year with Tommy Rees and this tight end group that can get out and block. So you got guys like CJ Dupree and Robbie Oots out there in front of you on those screens or on a lot of those swing routes. It can get real nice for you downfield with a guy like Jace McClellan, and I think that's going to affect his draft stock and help him, solidify itself as a first round draft pick because Jace is severely underrated.
I agree. I like that take. So we got Jace McClellan. Who'd you say, Chris?
No, I was gonna say we would pass it off to Ty, but
yeah, we beefing with Ty. We
first of all, let me say, I'm the reason Ty is not on. I can't have anybody on this panel prettier than me. You know what I'm saying? So, with that said, my take. Focus in on me. Now, give me camera time. You gave them camera time. Give me camera time.
Whoa.
Okay.
Oh, whoa. Sit down, Dan.
Make sure it's the neck up. All
right. Dan and his draws.
Well, with that said, my guy, my sleeper, and this is a guy, we talk about, but that I think is going to be the highest drafted linebacker we had in a few years. That's going to be Deontay Lawson. I say, he going to benefit from Kevin Steele, and definitely, having the getting back to the D line play should improve. I expect it to improve significantly this year. So if we can keep our linebackers clean, we get back to playing Bama ball, keep our linebackers clean. I expect Deontay Lawson to have a big, huge, tremendous season for us. And I expect him to be our highest drafted linebacker in a while.
Nice. Justin, you want to go or you want me to go?
Man, I'll go ahead and offer mine. I'll keep it short and sweet. And I'm glad that no one else stole him. I'm going to go with Ja'Cory Brooks. I think he's a guy who doesn't quite understand how good he is. Right? The NFL loves what he can do. He's a guy that can battle that 50-50 ball. He loves getting his right into the mix, isn't afraid to take on any kind of physicality. He's a guy that if he just has a little confidence in just how good he is, he can really take over a game. I look at him. He's big. He's physical. NFL scouts are looking at that aspect of him, and they're just drooling. They just need him to bring it all together. I kind of think of him right now as like a Cam Sims, but the difference between him and Cam Sims is he's an offense that's going to utilize him. Unfortunately, Cam Sims didn't have that luxury. Well, Ja'Cory does. If he can work on the drops and just become that solid number one guy, he could catapult himself up the draft boards real quick, fast, and in a hurry. Ja'Cory just has to realize who he is.
I like it. So I'm going to stay on the offensive side. What were you going to say, Chris? Sorry. Oh, I'm staying on the offensive side.
I like that.
Oh, I'm going to go Malik Benson. I think Malik Benson is going to have a Jameson Williams type impact within this offense, being explosive, the talent coming out of JUCO. So I'm going to go with Malik Benson to round out my sleeper in the first round next year from this Alabama team.
Quick question.
Coach Luke has an interesting point. He's got an interesting point that you mentioned in our private little chat there, and it's 599 for others who don't who are interested in jumping in to our after hours show. Go ahead.
Dan, I know you said Deontay Lawson, right? Solidifying himself. When was the last time we saw multiple linebackers from the Alabama defense in the same class go in the first round? When was the last time? Because honestly, I don't think it's just going to be Deontay Lawson. I think Deontay Lawson gets solidified because of Trez Marshall coming to Alabama and blowing things up.
I can see that.
I can see that.
I see two, maybe. And honestly, I think Lawson, just because of what Marshall is going to bring, I think Lawson will be the one that gets picked up early second day, and Marshall will edge him out because of this class of linebackers and how deep it's going to be across the nation, across college football. I think this is a good class for both of those guys to break out and solidify themselves as legit draft picks. So, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I got one question, too. Do you think Milroe can have Anthony Richardson type year and get drafted and go in the first round, maybe possibly getting the Heisman race if he, balls out, improves on some things? Do you think he has the potential to be the Anthony Richardson next year? Final one for that.
Yeah. The way I can see it, he can definitely have a better year than Richardson. Richardson didn't exactly blow it up. But for him to do it, it's all going to come down to the combine with him, with Milroe. If he goes and has a great pro day and combine, no doubt, that's pending he be the starter. No doubt Milroe couldn't go, first, second round.
Chris?
Go ahead, Chris. You always have to say something after me.
Oh, I raised my hand first anyway. First off, I think before I was rudely interrupted by Dan, Milroe alone off of his combine alone, he's going to blow it away. He probably will run a 4.3. He's going to put up Anthony Richardson type numbers at the combine. He's going to blow his times away. But I think what it's going to take, I think that he has to have, these are the numbers I'm aiming at least be a 62% passer completion, at least 62%, and he has to have a 3-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio.
Yes.
So say if he has 28 touchdowns to 7 interceptions or 8 interceptions, something like that. It can't be one of those 15 touchdown, 12 interception type.
He can't have double-digit picks.
Exactly.
Yes, keep it under 9. I said keep it under 9.
Yeah.
Even with that, I think the ball security and game management part of it, if he could even show that and get himself to the 2,800 yard mark for passing yards, get those touchdowns, 25 to 30, like you guys were saying, keep them picks down. That's really where it's going to be at, because they'll look at what Richardson did this past year and be like, man, his stats was, horrible. He just made big plays. He just kept a big name, so.
Well, honestly, guys, what really is the difference?
Go ahead, Justin.
Honestly, what really is a difference between Anthony Richardson and Jalen Milroe? It's just whoever the analyst decides to label as the next big thing. Yes, the NFL coaches and GMs and the draft analysts, it's all about cosmetic to them. They look at all the little pretty things, the measurables, and they don't really look at game tape. If they look at game tape, if you watch Anthony Richardson, there are several times where he forgets how to football. And it's so funny who they pick and choose, to glorify and then label as absolute trash. You take any number of other quarterbacks who are kind of producing in the same way that Richardson was, they don't get that same kind of push. So it kind of is a flavor of the week type thing. I think Jalen Milroe is a much better quarterback than Anthony Richardson. I think he's a lot smarter. He's got a big arm. I think he's faster. The biggest thing is what Coach Smook said is the completion percentage, limiting the bad plays, and just kind of clean up the small things. And also, I think what really speaks in his favor this year is having an offensive coordinator who knows what the hell they're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
Chris likes to talk a lot
Chris?
No, I was talking about to add to Justin's point. The difference is Richardson, he's a physical specimen. How big is he? 6'4"? How big is he? 6'4", 235, something like that.
Something like
that.
He has a cannon arm.
Like Cam.
And like Joe Milton, he's getting that same type of height right now. But hey, let's not forget. I'll throw a curveball in there. What if Buckner ends up coming in and winning the job?
Or Ty Simpson.
Or Ty.
But Simpson will have another year, though.
Yeah, he has another year.
Yeah.
But what if Buckner comes in and blows it out the water? Kind of like Mac Jones.
He can have potential.
I don't see him getting the first round looks, though, regardless of what he does. I feel like him having a Stetson Bennett type career. You know what I'm saying? Stetson Bennett, regardless of what he did at Georgia, wasn't going to regardless of what he did at Georgia, he wasn't going to go first round, no matter what Stetson Bennett did. Stetson Bennett, y'all got to think, Stetson Bennett led the SEC in passing completion percentage the past 2 years. The past 2 years, and still where he go in the draft.
Yeah, he like 5'9" and 40 years old.
But that's the thing. I'm saying it won't be a stat thing. It really has to be an eye thing for Milroe. I mean, for Buckner,
And
it's gonna really have to be an eye thing for Buckner, bro.
And let me.
But Buckner was highly recruited.
Let me ask a question though: how many of Bennett's passes were high risk passes, and how many were just like little safe routes? And, his guys just did majority of the work.
Exactly.
Stetson never had a 1,000-yard receiver either.
No, you think we're gonna have one
I mean,
at Bama
like,
this year?
you know what I'm saying? Like those
That's
guys.
a good question. We'll say that for next week.
Ooh boy, because I don't honestly.
That's a great topic, just.
Gonna have about
he never had a 1,000-yard receiver or a degree.
All right, live chat. Who is going to be our 1,000-yard receiver next year? Give us your votes right now.
I got 2 of them.
Go, Chris. Go, Chris.
The 2 guys, the guy that you talked about and the guy Justin talked about.
Brooks and Benson.
This year.
Man, we hate
Benson
that
and Brooks.
But listen,
Who
no,
you
this
say,
is
Dan?
for the chat.
Who did I say? Definitely Benson. And I Brooks, I have to agree with you.
Brooks might lead the team in receptions.
Yeah.
What about you, Coach Smoot?
We won't have a 1,000-yard receiver, y'all. We won't. We'll have Benson to probably have 800. He won't break. None of them will break 1,000. This deep wide receiver room is going to get put to use by Tommy Reese. We won't have a lot of spread sets for these guys to get yards like that. And I don't see, other than Isaiah Barnes, Malik Benson,
Prentice
Law, Prentice, those guys, those are your only guys they're gonna pull away from guys after they catch the ball. They're gonna put moves on people. Brooks not doing that. He's gonna make strong moves, but he's not pulling away from nobody. Jermaine Burton, if he catches the ball, you know what I'm saying? If he catches the ball, he might slip away. He might make a move or two. But we talking about the 1,000-yard receivers. Last time Bama had multiple 1,000-yard receivers. Let's think about who those guys were and the type of breakaway speed they had across the
offense. The type of offense we had.
Hey,
and the type of
offense.
offense.
You saying that? But you didn't know that Benson was a 10-400 meter guy either.
I'm not knocking what he can and can't do. I'm saying the type of weapons, the amount of weapons that, like Lucian said, just like I said, the amount of weapons Reese has at his expense and the type of offense style play calling, we know that he's going to call, that he's more comfortable with calling those tight end sets. We won't have a 1,000-yard receiver. We're going to have a Brock Bowers type receiver, tight end. They're going to have Brock Bowers type numbers. You got Amari Knee-Black that's going to be split out to the wide receiver spot sometime. Like, come on, dog. It's too many weapons for one guy. I don't think there will be a feature receiver. This year, the receiver by committee is going to be for real this year. It's going to be a bunch of guys exploding. It won't be enough room for one guy to break 1,000.
I disagree. I think Benson has that type of potential, man, because it's one play, one big play. You don't even have to average 100 yards a game. You know what I'm saying? To get 1,000 yards. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like 15 games. Just say we play the SC championship, play playoff game, make it 15 games. That's only 60-some yards a game. I think Benson can get that.
Yeah, this comment by Brian Green says it all. That's what we're gonna see.
Yep, I agree, Brian.
When it gonna come time to, it all depends on who's gonna be the go-to receiver.
Yeah, I believe that, but I'm telling y'all guys, just the style of offense and play calling we're gonna use, man. I don't think he's gonna have the opportunity. There are gonna be plenty of plays where I think Benson gonna lead the team in 40+ yard receptions. Of course, I think right behind him is and Bonds. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Stretching guys, but how many times we gonna call those plays a game? You get what I'm saying? Teams gonna scheme. We played 3 high teams, multiple games in the season. 3 high teams.
But with that said, it's gonna come times and games where we're gonna have to ride our horse. Mm-hmm. That's how he's gonna get it. That's how we're gonna end up with 1,000-yard receiver. Trust me on that.
Van Edwards has a question here. Rumor mill is saying that Burton is working really hard in the off seasons. Has he finally proven himself this year? I'm going to say that his leash is extremely short, maybe just like one link. He doesn't have a whole lot of room for error right now. If he's going to do it, he needs to do it right now, because we just mentioned several guys right now that are ready to take off, and they're not going to sit here and wait for a 7th-year senior to get in gear.
What?
It's too many. It's too many things that can happen. Listen. You know, drops. It could be an injury. It could be anything. You know what I'm saying? It could be something off the field. You know, it's going to be short.
You guys got it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
My thing with with Burton, I want him to have it up here. I need him to have a level of maturity, you know, to go out there and be like, okay, the time is now. Let me show some leadership. Let me show some ownership and be that dominant example in this wide receiver room, you know? So for me, it's all between the ears for me with Jermaine Burton. So hopefully he's working hard, but like Justin said, he's on a short leash.
I think we are going to have a 1,000-yard all-purpose receiver, Kendrick Law.
Yes.
He's going to be used in so many different ways. He could have 1,400 total yards with the myriad of ways that Tommy Rees is going to be able to utilize him.
Mm-hmm. Him and Emmanuel Henderson. Emmanuel Henderson, he might not have close to 1,000, but Emmanuel Henderson going to be an X factor type player. Y'all remember Kenyon Drake when he popped on the scene for Bama?
Right.
Yeah.
I think Emmanuel Henderson is a wide receiver version of Kenyon Drake that actually
great
moved
point. Great point.
Kenyon Drake could have played wide receiver. He could have been a slot. He could have been a legit slot. The way we used him, he could have been a slot. So I think. Hey, Eric, you and me both, man. After last season, I definitely feel you, but I seen some things in the spring game from Burton, guys. I'm talking about releases and attacking the ball. Yeah, he had some drops, but Burton had a little chip. It was a little chippiness out there in that spring game. If we can get him to show up against conference play, not against Utah State and the small schools, but conference play with that same mindset and acting like he the big dog against the same level of recruiting talent, across the field. That's what I want to see from Burton. And it's all in the head, like you said, Matt. It's all in his head.
Yeah.
Burton was a 5-star for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He played as a freshman at Georgia for a reason.
Yep.
And he didn't even have a big play on us. A couple of in Brian Denny.
It would have went crazy if he went towards MCL.
Jermaine Burton was like a menstrual cycle. Shows up once a month.
Once a month. Once a game, baby. He gonna get you
the man microphone, man.
Justin, you gotta mute yourself.
Nah, bro.
Hey, I think Justin
True Crimson Tide.
I think Justin feel like wait. But Justin feel like Jermaine, like I felt about Henry, man. It ain't no doing good with that. See, Jermaine, he worked in the soft spot with me. That Kansas State game.
The name of Dan's OnlyFans, working the soft spot 69.
I like that. I got a question, Smoot. Before you go, give me your starting four right now, and we're gonna go around four receivers. Your first four wides is coming out on versus Texas, your first true four wides, and I'll go after you, and then we go around the horn.
True four wide set.
Yeah.
I mean, no tight end split. Bet. X, I'm going with Ja'Cory Brooks.
Okay.
Strong side slot, I'm gonna go with dang, I hate this part. Ja'Cory, I'm gonna put Kendrick Law on Ja'Cory's side, and I'm gonna put Benson. Dang.
And Bond,
I'm putting Benson at the Z and Bonds at the other slot. Benson, Law and Bonds in the slots, and Benson and Brooks on the outside. I want Bonds and Benson on the same side.
Dan,
I'm going like this. It's the Killer Bees, baby.
Oh,
Benson, Bond, and Brooks. That's the Killer Bees. That's gonna be the star four.
Who?
Wow. Dan, Chris.
Yeah, I go to Killer Bees too, but with Burton on a very tight leash, but you still got Prentice right there.
Yeah,
and you got Prentice in Law. I think we probably have like a 7 receiver rotation. Prentice, Law, one more. It's either gonna be Preston or Hale.
Yeah, Justin Hale.
Is it Jalen? What is it?
Jalen
Hale. My fault.
Jalen Hale or Preston or Shaz Preston. I think we're gonna have a 7-man. Y'all remember what year was that?
You saying it's gonna be either the Killer Bees or the Killer Peas?
I like it.
What's the guys? What's that year? What year was that we had all those receiver guys and we had that crazy rotation with DeAndre White and all them. With Norwood and White and
Norwood,
Bell.
White.
I remember that Kenny Bell.
Yeah,
Kenny Bell.
AJ McCarron, what? First year,
Cooper.
second year?
Derrick
Yeah,
Hanks.
yes.
I think another year with Cooper, wasn't it? Mark.
Yeah.
Was a
Yeah.
freshman one year. Yep.
It was all of them. And
Tristan
that's when
Jones
Mays-
came in late on that squad.
Yeah.
Don't forget about Darius
And
Hanks.
wasn't at the end of Mays?
Hanks.
No.
Hanks.
Yep.
Marquis May. No, was it Marquis May?
Mays was already gone after that squad. After
Yeah.
that group.
So
He
Hanks,
didn't get that luxury.
It was Norwood, Hanks, White, Bell.
Them boys was deep, man. Them
Yeah,
boys
man.
was deep.
And they had that
Yeah.
great rotation, man. Cooper,
And now I think they
Cooper
had a
came
young
in.
Robert Foster too. I think they
Yeah,
had a freshman
Robert
Robert
Foster.
Foster.
They did.
No, well, Foster was like right after that though. Foster. When was Foster's senior year? Because he got hurt one year.
We had Marvin Sheen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Marvin Sheen.
Yep.
Man.
Then we had
Well,
all
I'm gonna
those
give you
guys,
I'm
man.
gonna give you my 4. And this is my playmaker list. I'm going, Brooks don't even make my top 4. It go Law, Benson. I'm putting Law, Benson on the outside, and on the inside, I'm going Prentice and Bond.
I knew it. I can trust Law on the
Brooks gonna
outside.
Start, man. He gonna be the outside. Brooks starting at X.
Brooks is definitely a star.
X
Hey,
and Z.
but-
He started.
But Law can be your ex because of his
Yeah.
physicality and the way he can go, bro. Kendrick Law is about to. If he don't get Jalen Waddle type comparisons for real this season, because of the way the
Debo,
type of plays,
I say Debo Samuel, like Chris.
Debo, yeah.
I say Chris,
Debo
yeah.
more Debo because of that
I
physicality.
think
Yeah.
Bond will be more
That-
but
that
shit,
Waddle.
I don't think we still don't have a Waddle.
I don't know, man. The way
We
Malik Benson,
Bond, Prentice and Bond,
Prentice too.
I compare them. If we could use them like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, you know, that intermediate game across the middle, quick passes, I'm all for it.
That third bell, if anybody was wondering.
Oh,
means
sorry, I didn't hear it.
me
Yeah,
neither.
just like in practice, never listen to what coach told you to do.
Oh,
But listen, we got some other topics to get to in these next series of topics. Well, really one big actually was inspired by Dan and Chris. It's our versus segment where we get on some hardcore debate. And the first order of business, who is going to make the biggest impact out of these incoming freshmen? Yhonzae Pierre versus Keon Keeley.
whew.
Ooh, this is going to be nice. Chris James, you started out, and then Dan will give his rebuttal for his man.
First off, let me rewind you back. You remember about 3 years ago when Will Anderson was coming through? 3-4 years ago when Will Anderson was coming through and he dominated the All-American game and he got the Bama and got number 31. It's the same thing Keon Keeley did. Top 5 overall guy. Got the Bama. He dominated All-Star game, got the Bama. Now he's going to wear number 31. And I think that he's physical, he's big, he's strong, he's fast, and he's long, which means that he only needs 2 steps to get in that backfield. Keon Keeley, his presence will be felt this year in Bryant-Denny Stadium.
Oh, let's go.
Oh, snap. Come
Let's
on,
go.
Dan. Bring it home.
Let's go, Dan.
Dang,
I'ma
got to
roll
bring
with
some
the-
heat, boy.
Yeah, I'm a roll with the horse I've been riding since he signed with us, man. So since he committed with us, before he became a 5-star. And you know this, Chris. I'm telling you, y'all mark this down. Yhonzae Pierre
Woo.
is gonna make a bigger impact at Bama than Keon Keeley. You can
Wow.
tell him kind of what's a Dan said.
No,
Take it to the bank.
Follow
No.
him, man. You
It's
got
over.
to come.
Over.
Take it up.
OBA.
no.
Go, Coach Smoot.
I see
Justin.
Brian Green. They
This
don't want
ain't
to put
my
up your
fight,
comment,
bro.
but I
This
see
ain't
you.
my
I'm right
fight.
there
That's
with
their fight. Look, that's their fight. That ain't my fight, bro. That's
Hey.
their fight. Nah, but I
Hey,
think
look here. It's just like we're coming up. It's a one-hit quarter. That's all it takes.
Keeley is physically ready for that pounding right now. I wish I had some tape to pull
That's
up
what
right
she
now.
said.
Show
See,
these nice.
Oh,
he
man.
always had the rebuttal. You know what I'm saying? I just told you take it to the bank. You do what I say.
Put it out there.
You just fill out the deposit slip.
Break it up, guys. Break it up, guys. Break it up, guys.
All right, they're now in the penalty.
Man.
They're both in the penalty box.
They gotta go.
Thank you, Justin. Justin, you calm us down, Justin.
I got to. Yes, that's the job of the producer. But listen, while I got these guys calming down the penalty box, of course, we got to have a tiebreaker. So what's it going to be, Coach Smook? I'll let you go ahead and give your 2 cents. Matt, I'll let you give yours. And if need be, I'll give mine.
Okay, check this out. So honestly, I'm right there with Chris, man. Keon Keeley is ready right now. Keon, I feel the same way I feel about Keon Keeley as I felt about Jeremiah Alexander last year. Like if we would have started taking injuries, like big injuries, I think Alexander comes in and pulls a Will Anderson. You know what I'm saying? Show up and be like, I should have been here first in the first spot anyways. So I think if the boy goes down and Keeley mess around and gets a snap or two, in a row against like an Arkansas or something like that, I'm talking about a team where we gonna need some up front. I think Keeley comes in and makes the bigger plays sooner with the amount of chances he's gonna get because you can't keep him off the field. It's gonna be hard to keep him off the field. You can, but it's gonna be hard to.
Okay. Matt?
I'm going to go with the Alabama guy. I'm going to go with Dan on this one. I'm going to go with Yhonzae Pierre. I just think his first step, he kind of had to get it out the mud a little bit more so for me, but I just think, he's just a talented guy. So it's a great debate. We'll see, but I'm going to roll with Pierre. Justin, you the tiebreaker, brother.
My gosh, this is something. Now, I've watched on both of them before. Before I came in, of course, Yhonzae, my gosh, just absolute freak. The only thing I'm looking at really being a downside, maybe he needs to add some more muscle, whereas Keon Keeley is already built like he's on loan to us from the NFL. But I like Yhonzae because he comes with violent intentions and has great first step. Doesn't rely on out-athleting everybody. He actually has skill, and he uses the mental game to break down the people, not just being faster or quicker, just 100 times better, which he is. I look at him. He could also be versatile. He can drop back in coverage. He can be like a Von Miller or a Khalil Mack. But then you go over and look at Keon Keeley. My gosh. When you first look at him, guys, I think you know where I'm going.
Can't miss him.
He's the guy you want getting off the bus first. But that's not where it stops. He has future first-round level of play. Big misconception about him is he a guy that has that kind of physical makeup. Typically play. I can't talk. I'm so excited. Typically plays stiff, and not true. He can bend and find leverage. Man, insane speed for a hulking guy like that. Great instincts. His ability to time the snap is uncanny, and he can shoot the gaps with ease and cause devastation in a blink of an eye. I think Pierre is a freak, but this dude is just Reggie White, but faster.
Jadeveon Clowney.
Oh, yeah.
Jadeveon Clowney, but actually gives a damn and won't take plays off.
Actually got that charge.
I'm gonna go with Myles Garrett.
Same. I mean, I just think Keeley has a different motor, bro.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with Keeley. Okay, so that's a tiebreaker. Ding, we got that one. All right, next verse right here. Desmond Ricks versus Jahlil Hurley. Chris went last time. Dan, you're up first.
Oh, no doubt. We're talking about at the corner position. I look at, the skill set. I'm thinking Hurley, even though he's listed as a corner on the roster, he's more suited, for the star safety role. Desmond Ricks, we're talking about corner. It's Desmond Ricks hand down. He won the fastest man competition at all the camps he attended his junior season on. So definitely without a doubt it's going to be Desmond Ricks. Now this is his weak argument.
Perhaps long term, maybe Desmond Ricks.
Oh,
right now, if forced to play, you got to go with Hurley, man. That dude is versatile, man. Just put on a tape, man. That dude, you can line a dude up to the boundary, you can line him up to the field, you can move him to safety. You can put him at star. Like Hurley is a 5-star dude. Like Ricks is a 5-star too. No knock on him. But can Ricks be as versatile as my guy?
Or durable.
Ricks is kind of thin. He needs the weight room. He's a young guy. He's a year younger. He's 16, 17. You know, he's really supposed to be going to the senior year. But Hurley is a grown man right now, like ready to coach. Like I believe somebody gets hurt and Hurley gets out there, he's not coming off that field. So they better stay healthy.
Okay.
I like it.
Matt?
Man, shoot that, man. Y'all, it's tough, man. Golly. I'm gonna ride with the guy out of Florence. I'm gonna roll with Hurley on this one, man. Just because his length. I mean, you can't tape up 6'2", 6'3" corner versatility. You know, length wise, like Chris said, you can put him in the boundary in so many other positions. So I'm gonna go Hurley with a slight edge, just as of right now, just because of the physical attributes. But Ricks, you look at the 8A game, he had a lot of PBUs. He was kind of the next man up. So it's kind of neck and neck for me, but I'm going to go with Hurley giving the slight edge. Smoot?
I'm going to go right there with Hurley too, man. I just like Hurley's frame, man.
Yeah.
And the fact that he can go to safety. You know, a lot of those guys, to me, Hurley, he's a safety that can cover very good. You get what I'm saying? He's a better cover safety than Arnold. You know what I'm saying? And we know how good Terry and Arnold was at safety coming out of high school. So I feel like Hurley coming over and being able to transition into a Nick Saban style coach defense or Kevin Steele coach defense and playing corner. I like Chris said, man, if he gets on the field, you don't mind leaving him out there. Kind of like what happened with Kool-Aid. It was hard to bring Kool-Aid back off the field. It was like when Kool-Aid got to play the second week against Austin P, I think it was his freshman year.
Oh, yeah.
You remember, like, the second week, he ended up starting because Job and somebody else was sitting out. They was hurt.
He had a pick, too.
And he had to pick his first game, but it wasn't nothing that he did that was technical or he just was out there playing football. He was still green. The first year playing DB, like strictly DB, and then doing it under Coach Saban. So I like Jahlil Hurley in the position. He's a defensive player. He's not an offensive-minded player. He's a defensive player. He's physical. And the guy can, straight up cover.
Hey, Dan, your boy saw the writing on the wall. That's why he hopped in the portal mid-season. Marcus Banks.
Yeah.
Hey.
He did. We talked about that.
Man,
he should have stayed. Banks should have stayed.
He could have been that.
Hey, Banks would have started that championship game where your Kyrie got burnt. There was Banks right there.
Banks would have been right there.
Right.
But nah. Oh, Kyrie.
Justin?
Oh my gosh! I look at A-Day and I just saw a lot more from Ricks. And yes, I did say earlier that Ricks had durability issues, but I think that you can play past that. I think if you got it, you got it. And he was locking folks down, making really smart decisions. Of course, there's going to be some times where he shows he's very young in the season if he has to come off the bench. But right now, I just kind of like where Ricks is at. And he also didn't get beat by Burton downfield.
Ooh.
Repeat that because somebody wasn't paying attention when you were saying that.
Oh, I said that Eli Ricks did not get beat by Jermaine Burton in the A-Day game.
You know what? You're going to stop that because Burton beat a lot of people last season. He just didn't like catching the ball. You know what I'm saying?
He was allergic to the ball. Hit time during the game.
Pause.
Coach Smoot, Coach Smoot, that charity game for the Make-A-Wish kids does not count.
Oh. Church league football.
Hey,
All American.
That boy was always open, man.
We got to go back up to a comment. We got to go back up to a comment made by Van.
Yes.
No,
Tony Mitchell?
Tony Mitchell. Yes, I was just about to say that. It was crazy because I was gonna ask. I wanted to throw it in there. We talking about Jahlil Hurley, Des Ricks, and all these other guys. Tony Mitchell is back on the field. Tony Mitchell is back in practice. We not gonna see Tony Mitchell week 1, week 2, but we know if Tony Mitchell had never got in trouble, we had not seen Tony Mitchell get in trouble, we might have
They be pushing
two
Malachi
starting.
right now.
It'll be two starting freshmen at free safety and strong
I
safety
agree.
right now.
I agree. 100% agree.
Yep.
110%. I mean, and all of the Christian story, we wouldn't have went in the portal to get a free safety. I guarantee you that Tony Mitchell you see how fast the move happened once Tony Mitchell got in trouble. You seen what happened. So, and it didn't make sense at that point in time because, I'm thinking Christian story. We got, Jake Pope, we got Terry Arnold, we got Malachi Moore, we got all those guys that can float the safety with Caleb Downs coming in. But Tony Mitchell being in practice, he never stopped going to class either since the incident.
They ain't put me on Tony Mitchell his freshman year in high school, and I saw that boy. And
Wow.
I was like, oh my God, this boy's only a freshman.
A freshman, bro.
That boy different, man. Tony Mitchell is different. It's not a biggest gap between him and Caleb Downs like people think, because Tony Mitchell was at one point a high-ranked 5-star, like a top 5 prospect in his class. When he ranked like number 6 or something, overall, and then they started knocking him down. Once he started being in Bama League, you know how those services do.
Yeah, cause he was a top 10 when he was committed to Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We can definitely debate this a lot longer, but we can't. We're running out of time. So this next segment, guys, we've mentioned a lot of names in this wide receiver room tonight, and we do so every week. And there's one name that is consistently getting overlooked, and that's Kobe Prentice. Guys, why are we forgetting about him? I'm going to let Matt Caddell start out on why we need to keep a close watch on him, especially now that we have a competent offensive coordinator.
Yeah, for me, like I said earlier, Kobe Prentice, Bond, Kendrick Law, you can throw in there. These guys, you can work the middle of the field. Tommy Reese, you're going to get that, attacking the middle of the field, attacking the hashes, attacking different types of throws for this young quarterback, whether it's Milrose, Simpson, whoever, getting them throws. And you look at a Kobe Prentice, you look at that touchdown he had. To me last year, I thought Bryce's best tape was with Bond and Kobe Prentice when he had those throws with Bond and Kobe Prentice. You look at Kobe Prentice, explosiveness. I mean, he can run routes. He's a mismatch. And you look at that game versus Kansas State. That touchdown pass, he broke like 3 or 4 tackles, once he called it and got 50. So, he's going to be, I think he's going to be hungry. I think him having Bond there, they kind of push each other, kind of like a Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle type of relationship. And you look at Tommy Reese, like somebody said earlier, Tommy Reese has all these weapons to play with. So you never know. The game plans are going to be so difficult for defenses to try to stop us. You look at a Kobe Prentice, you look at a Bond. But listen, the Kobe Prentice, his yak potential, I think he's probably one of our best yak receivers. And to all the fans out there that don't know what yak is, that means yards after catch. So who has the best, once they get the ball in the hands, how can they make defenders miss? And I think, he's up there in top 3 with him, Bond and probably Kendrick Law. So yeah, I'm looking for a big year for Kobe Prentice.
Coach Smook.
I'm more so. I'm not going to say Kobe Prentice has been overlooked. The thing is, Kobe Prentice showed up and actually did exactly what he said he was coming to Bama to do as a true freshman. The guy stepped in week 1 and was the leading receptions for Alabama, not yards, but receptions. He had like 9 targets and had 6 or 7 receptions or something like that week 1 as a true freshman. So even under Bill O'Brien, the incompetent college football offensive coordinator, and I'm gonna say college football offense because he clearly didn't have a clue what he was doing in college. But Kobe Prentice still made himself an impact, and I don't think it was due to was it Aaron Anderson going down at the beginning of last year, right?
Yeah,
it was Aaron Anderson, and
Aaron Anderson.
It was going into fall of last year. Aaron Anderson, who was getting all the hype.
Then Leary got hurt.
Christian Leary got hurt and had to miss time. So Prentice, he took advantage of that.
Earl.
So when
oh
yeah, that
Earl
was the
got
big
hurt.
one. That's what it was. The big one that allowed Prentice, because he played the slot where Earl started at. So you got to think, if Prentice was able to keep JoJo Earl from getting back his starting position, Christian Leary from even seeing the field. How many times we saw Christian Leary get a pass last year, y'all? If you figure it out, we'll talk about it next year when we find it. Because I promise you, I don't think it happened once this year.
I forgot about
but I mean, it was just so many different things that Prentice could have dropped the ball them first 3 passes, them first 3 targets, and we wouldn't even be talking about him for real. But he just showed up, and it's not that we forgot about him. We just know he's going to be that dude. We know he's going to be the consistent guy that's going to be able to make those plays. Like I said, I just think with so many options, man, it's going to be hard to really just say this guy's the guy. This guy's the guy. It's going to be guys that I hope we have a bunch of guys that at any given time, you know, like that, the 4 horsemen, man, that was the best time to have be a wide receiver fan of Alabama. You know what I'm saying? Like those guys came in when really was getting ready to transition out, and them young guys was under him, and then Waddle and Mechie followed up behind him. That was a time to be a fan of Alabama offense, man. So I feel like we got that potential this year.
I agree.
Chris.
I kind of agree with Coach. I don't think he's overlooked. It's just that, man, that room, it's a plethora of talent in that room, man. And it's like this is gonna be the first time in a long time where I really don't care who the 4 receivers are on the field. I just know whoever those 4 are going to get it done. Like we're loaded, man. And so people think that our wide receiver room is hurting. No, it's not that. It's just that we have so many options. You know what I'm saying? Like we have and guys that have played. So it's not like, oh, he hasn't proven this. We got guys that have proven made big plays. Bond made big plays when it counted. Brooks made big plays for the last 2 years. Burton's made big plays. Prentice made big plays. You know what I'm saying? So we have guys that have made big plays, big catches. So I just think that it's kind of he got caught up in the numbers game, but I still think he's going to shine. But I just think that Malik Benson is going to alleviate all talk about the receiver position. I think he's the next great one.
Final whistle, Dan.
The thing with Prentice, I think he's just a victim of comparable talent, like we were talking about. You know, we got a lot of guys like him. The thing I like about Prentice is when he got his chances, he took advantage of them. That's why I can't understand year 5 or 4, how many years this is with Burton. You know, or why are we tolerating this? You know what I'm saying? Why are we allow this to happen when we got guys that taking advantage of the few receptions that they're getting and they're making the most of it? But yet we run a guy here, you know, consistently that's, you know, we're not getting the results from, you know, like we should. But that's just me keeping it short.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Kobe Prentice is a star. There's no reason to overlook him whatsoever. I think last year he kind of limited himself just because of it's his first year. You know, those first year jitters, not having all that confidence in himself. But as the season progressed, you saw him starting to evolve and kind of take steps forward. Definitely more so than our Jermaine Burton, who's been there 15 years getting his doctorate. But yeah, I agree. Bryce Young looked his best and most comfortable with Kobe Prentice. Kobe Prentice was running routes for him in his pro day. So that says something about Kobe right there. Next year, year 2, this is where he really makes a big stamp on the offense. So I'm excited to see what Kobe can do. Plus, I can't count out a Mike McCoy guy. Mike McCoy has been working with him since he was in diapers, and we know what kind of a trainer Mike McCoy is.
Mike McCoy.
What he demands from his athletes, he brings that dog out of you. He demands a lot out of you. And if you can't hang, you can't do the work in all phases of the game, he don't let you in the building. So I think that edge right there puts him ahead of some other candidates in the offense. All right, well, guys, time is...
Quick statement, Justin.
Right.
And it's just a quick statement. I want y'all to take a look at the wide receiver room physique-wise compared to how they look coming into spring last year. And look at how some of these pictures these guys fall camp. These guys showing up for summer workout. Look at how big and some of these receivers are reporting in at weight compared to last year. You got Isaiah Bonds put on 12 pounds of muscle. You got, Kobe Prentice put on about 5 more pounds. He was already in there. Kendrick Law put on some more muscle. And then you got guys like Ja'Cory Brooks, that big frame, finally being a solid 200. Guys, we're getting that wide receiver room back like we used to have it, man. It's getting crazy.
Yeah.
Can I make a question? I got a great question. Who is y'all?
No, that's the answer.
What's wrong, man?
Savage life. Savage life. Don't worry.
No, go ahead, Matt. Go ahead,
Go,
Matt.
Justin.
Yes, go ahead, Matt.
No, I was gonna say, who's y'all greatest Bama Yak receiver?
Ooh.
I think for me, it's Judy.
Yeah.
Ooh, no. I'm gonna tell you who it is, man.
Who is it?
Henry Ruggs, man.
Oh,
Ruggs, man. Ooh, God. Man, you remember the reception against Missouri that got called back, man? That was the most awesome play I've witnessed from a Bama receiver.
The explosion. How you just left everybody.
Wow. Yeah, that was crazy.
I'm gonna go back to old time for y'all. That dog on Tyrone Pro throw.
Pro throw. That's what I was just about to say.
Pro was the dog.
Pro was different, man.
Pro would be in a swarm.
Pro was different, man.
He was different. He should have won. If he never got hurt, he could have won the Heisman
that year. Yep, he'd have beat out old Reggie.
Yep.
I'll go even older than that. The Deuce, David.
The Deuce.
Oh,
yeah.
David Palmer.
Can't argue that. Cannot
that
argue that.
That was wild. That was wild.
And one more guy that Freddie Millers.
Freddie
Millers, yeah.
The purest feet I've ever seen.
Ever, man.
Freddie
Let me
Millers.
tell you. So Freddie Millers, man, it was a camp, and when if I could tell y'all if I could show y'all the type of stuff, you could tell when somebody had it. Like you could look at Deion Sanders and video and see how and look at him line up now today at 50 plus years old and be like, if he had them 3 toes back, I feel like Deion could lock down some DBs still to this day. I mean, some receivers still to this day. So you and T.O., you put T.O. on the field at wide receiver. It's not a lot of DBs that stop at T.O. one-on-one still. And he 50 years. Antonio, I mean, it's so many. Chad Johnson. And you look at, I'm telling Millers was that guy.
Millers was that dude.
You got it. You still got it, big dog.
Freddie and Pro, man, them two were.
All right, Trey, let's go back to Justin. All right.
Well, it's time to go. It's time to go to our next segment, the most fun segment of all. And we encourage fans to please take part in this. And that's the hot take segment where we expose trolls. Fans, if you find a hot take anywhere that's directed towards Alabama in a negative way, send it to the BamaStandard@gmail.com. Flood our inbox. If you want to be a part of this, let us feature you in your segment. I promise if it's a good one, we're going to give you some props and call you out. I think this week, Chris James has got a really good one for us. Chris, go ahead and take it away, sir.
This comes from Ty, and y'all give him HE double hockey sticks on Twitter. His handle is @AustinOwens26. He's an LSU fan. He said last season was the first time LSU has beat Bama and Baton Rouge in over a decade. They tend to play better at Bryant Denny. LOL casual. He proceeded to call the person a casual. All right. You want to unwrap that?
I mean, all you got to do is go look at the results. Last year was the first time LSU beat us in Baton Rouge. I mean, was the first time
in Baton Rouge.
How many times have we won before that? 9 years straight or nine games straight?
If you go back even further, historically, Bama is so dominant in Baton Rouge. It's back to Derek Thomas days, all those days. I'm talking about 40-year run.
Yeah. Didn't we go 3 years shutting them out? They went like 3 years without scoring, right?
In their house.
Right. In their house.
In their house. Jesus.
So he can miss us with that one.
The Tide don't lose in Baton Rouge. But they also have a hard. They don't lose too often in Bryant Denny against them. What was the win-loss record here recently?
Those dudes have they've beaten Bama twice
since
in Tuscaloosa since the Bush administration.
The first Bush.
The first Bush. For real, the first Bush, I think.
The first Bush.
Jesus. So I mean, that's kind of like when Florida fans try to talk about being in competition with Georgia right now. You know, the edge in the rivalry right now. There's no comparison right now in that matchup. And you know what's crazy? We hate Auburn, but Auburn gives us better matchups than anybody across the SEC. You look at how many times we've taken the L to Auburn in the past 6 years. Yeah, it's like, how do we even get to the Natty if Auburn's the only team doing that to us? And it's crazy, but it's true.
You know why we say that? Why that happens? what we said about in-state pride.
Yep.
Hey, all the stats and everything out the window. I'm telling you,
Absolutely.
In-state pride, man.
it's something different. And I'm telling you, Tony Mitchell being at practice is something big for us, man.
Yeah, it is.
That news right there, just oh my god.
Hey, that dude can play star too, man.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm telling y'all, I hate it for those transfer guys. Please don't come in slacking. I'm for real, because if them transfer guys come in slacking, phew, but yeah, let's not go back in there.
I doubt it, man. They're gonna be about business.
Yeah.
I know Key pedigree. Key come from a strong athletic
love that
family.
dude.
He's gonna be solid. But Amos is big time. Amos gonna be one and done in the Tuscaloosa.
Hey,
One and
Chris,
done.
when you after that key conversation we had last week, I hate it.
Oh, Tony Brown.
But Crazy Tony was a man though.
He was a dog.
We need
Tony
more
was a
Crazy
man,
Tony.
though.
We
That
need
boy
more
had-
Crazy Tony.
Yeah, we need more
We
crazy
do,
dude.
but that boy
And he's
had a little
still
too
saying
much
Hunter Renfro lied.
Hey, and shout out to Crazy Tony, who's still on an NFL roster doing his
Still, that shows
for the
Exactly.
Colts. For the
that
Colts, y'all.
shows to me. That just shows you how elite Bama is at developing DBs. Like if you buy into Coach Saban and what he does, he's the best DB coach in the game. You're going to the league and you're gonna have a long career. So
And you don't have to be a starter for 3 years. Tony Mitchell didn't start but 1 year. He only started 1 year. He spot played the second year. He
Man,
played
hey.
the first year he didn't play. Sophomore he got in trouble and played late. Junior year played a little bit, and then senior year finally turned on.
You remember Tony actually did he start his freshman year at first?
versus
Yeah,
Florida, that Florida game.
And then he got in trouble.
Yep.
But hey, shoot, Kendall Sheffield that started at Ohio State in NFL couldn't even get on the field. He left and went to Ohio State.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I mean, guys like walk on Levi Wallace, Anthony Aver.
Trevon Diggs.
Yeah.
Dan, and I give a bone to Dan. Dan called out Levi Wallace before that boy there, man, he be on it. He was on Levi Wallace.
I used to, as a kid, my dad was a scout for Albany State University.
Oh,
And
nice.
He'd bring home VHS tapes, and we sit down and break it down and watch video. I was doing that at an early age. So that's why I'm telling you, back to my Yhonzae Pierre.
What other
VHS.
VHS were you watching?
Yeah. Well, Debbie.
Oh, you
Does
mean like
Dallas.
the
Now
back
we're on to
room at
something.
Video Warehouse?
Brown and round 32. Around the table. What'd you say, Justin?
Ground and pound all night.
Man.
Look at that 3 technique right there.
That 3 technique,
Look at the hip movement right there.
gap containment.
Yes, which is a perfect opportunity, even though Ty is not here tonight, to promote his OnlyFans, Reach Around the Table Sports.
Reach around the table. Reach around the table.
Whoa.
That's the volume 5. Hey y'all, shout out Nick Saban Jr. That's one of my personal partners, man. We go back to Phoenix City. He know when I be talking about stuff that we was doing and all, he already know what time it is, man. Shout out, bro. Kirby Smart is going to play against Maria Sharapova to see.
Oh,
Man, you back on it.
Hey, leave Kirby alone, man.
I got a great Fast and Furious Athens edition joke that I'll say for next week.
But one thing about Athens though, Justin, how long has Texas A&M been in the conference, y'all? Since 2012, right? Why hasn't Georgia played in College Station yet?
The SEC always babies Georgia.
Yes.
I will fight on that all the time.
13 years they've been in the conference, and 13 season they still not going this year. Like, why hasn't Georgia been in College Station?
They always baby Georgia.
Always.
But you see what happens when they have to go to a LSU or they have to go to
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. Anytime they have to go to a West Division house, Georgia struggles mightily. It's not even a talent thing. It's just like it's the
Mississippi
mentality
State.
over.
No
Yep.
doubt.
Somebody
All
gonna
right.
catch the slipper.
Time is winding down. Before we head out of here, guys, we need to do our closing segment, which allows us to go around the room to tell people what we got going on as far as social media. And I fully expect everybody to find these folks on this panel who do such excellent work and subscribe to all of their content providing platforms. Coach Smoot, lead us off. Then we'll go to Dan's big brother, Matt Cadell, and Final Whistle Dan will finish it up for us.
Yes, sir. It's your boy, Coach Smoot, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning into the show. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you already haven't. You can find me on every platform at Coach Smoot. If you look at me on Facebook, don't follow the yellow page with all caps. Follow the regular, like Coach Smoot. And then TikTok everywhere, man.
What does that lead to?
That mean when he gets in Facebook jail.
Yeah, the big page, the big cap page. That's the other link, not the OnlyFans.
The other link, okay.
The other link that way. But yeah, so y'all just come through, man. We've been pushing the NCAA Road to Bama content. Your boy just got his scholarship offer to Bama, and I'm up there competing with Mac and Bryce for this starting position. So yeah. But yeah, y'all check me out, man. Appreciate y'all.
Georgia plays Tutwiler's women in prison. Georgia look at in Mississippi Casino College in the North making retirement home non-college.
And you forgot ICDC.
ITT Tech.
And Justin Riley's favorite, Hogwarts.
University.
They play the Mississippi Mass Choir.
I'm not tired yet.
The YMCA B team.
Breaking news.
Bishop Sycamore.
They got the Isley brothers week 3.
UGA might get scared that Bishop Sycamore lineup across from them dudes the same age as all they players.
I heard they're playing in 2025 William and Mary, but Mary didn't make the trip.
They play William.
And this just
They
did
play
a home and home series with Mitchell's Cosmetology College.
They don't play Virginia Tech. They play Virginia.
And don't worry, Georgia fans, that game will be live on the Ocho.
Telemundo.
Virginia Electric. Virginia Tech. Virginia
my goodness.
All right, Chris James.
VA. Okay, guys. You can find me on Facebook at Chris K. James Sr., on Twitter at Coach Chris James, and on Instagram at CKJ Senior 32. Any of those 3. Hey, I need my Twitter followers, man, to come up. How many of you have now, Dan?
You know what? I don't even know. I haven't been keeping up with it. I turned it over to my personal assistant. But you can follow me on Twitter at Final Whistle Dan. Catch me on LinkedIn, Dan James. And that's pretty much it. You catch me here every week, same bat time, same bat channel.
And your Facebook.
Your Facebook, that's kind of friends and family thing,
Speaking of that, Chris, what football family talk page you up to now? Like 15? Because y'all
we're at number 5. NCAA Friends Football Talk edition, 5th edition or something. Man, that is
something like
best.
That.
That's the best football group on the planet.
It's too addictive. You get lost in the weeds.
NCAA football 5th edition. Google it, and you will be happy that you did. We've been going since the 2012 season. Seriously, since 2012 was our first season. That summer before the 2012 season. So this is going on our 12th season going into it. So check it out. The Hallmark channel. George gonna be playing on GPTV.
GPTV.
Georgia Public Television. PBS.
I heard they got a version of Hard Knocks that's gonna be on Lifetime.
Oh, they gonna have their own. Hey, Georgia gonna have their own. What's that criminal?
Matlock.
No, the bad boys. What you gonna do?
Cops.
UGA football edition.
Athens edition.
Just a minute, gonna be the new spokesperson for Life Alert.
I fallen and I can't get up.
Oh my goodness.
I heard they're remaking the Golden Girls and Stetson Bennett as the lead role.
He's selling those. He got an NIL those adult diapers.
Depends. With Stetson.
Don't forget about the hover round chair.
Oh,
what you got? How can people find you? I know you got a very prominent show over there at the CTS.
Oh yeah, CTS Football University. You know, hit me up. It's all about the final whistle and Dan and Chris James, OnlyFans Smash Brothers.
You producing that?
No, I'm not producing
Managing that?
I'm not. But you can find me on my OnlyFans, Matt After Midnight.
Black 11.
The darkness.
The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight with Matt.
Oh man.
You can find Coach Smoot on Coach Him Up Smoot. Coach Him Up Smoot. Hey, Justin is called Just In.
Just in. Just in. Look, just in.
Mine is Velvet Thunder 37.
Oh Lord.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Velvet.
Over under. Justin owns 10 pairs of tighty whities. Over under.
Find out the answer to that question and more next week.
We need Stevie Elf right now.
We do.
Yeah.
Man, I love our fans. I just want y'all in the chat to know you are what fuels us. Listen, if you're watching right now, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you're watching the replay, get in the comment section. We had a lot of stuff for you to pick apart tonight. We need to know your feedback. Also, on this channel, we got a lot of things going on. Of course, you know, this awesome show is every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. The Bama Standard is before that. That's our flagship show every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. If you missed tonight's episode, we had legends in the room, George Teague and College Football Hall of Fame member EJ Jr. We had some great conversation tomorrow night right here, 7:30 p.m. Central, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. The developmental focus points with Bo Scarborough, Blake Sims, and Trent Richardson. Yes, they do talk a little bit about Bama, but they also talk about the important things that's going on off the field and developing players and help you answer all the questions about what's really going on and what athletes really need to be focused on. Look, I know that everybody wants to know the latest news about Bama, the quarterback situation, lineups, what have you, but you need to be tuned into that show. But also check out all the great clips. We're on TikTok now at @the_Bama Standard. We are everywhere, guys. Make it your favorite channel on all platforms. Chris.
Mark Sears. Matt.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was huge.
Big guy returning. A big addition to our basketball team. He withdrew his name. Sears withdrew his name from the draft, and he will be returning to Tuscaloosa next fall to add to the dynamic backcourt with those transfers we have in. So all we're lacking, 2 bigs, and we'll be ready for another run.
Not even 2. We could legit just get one solid, man. One solid that can get up and down that floor and replace that Bediako energy.
Yeah.
And we need a 4. We need a guy that can stretch the floor.
And dynamic backcourt is also Chris James's burner
OnlyFans.
Dynamic backcourt.
Well, that will do it for us here at the final whistle. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, baby.
Roll Tide.